What's up everyone, 9th Jim here, back with another VGC 2020 Pokemon Sword and Shield competitive video. Today we are talking about Terrakion, the justified Sword Dog Pokemon from a long time ago. And not Sword Dog talking Zacian, I'm talking Sword Dog like the 3 legendary Sword Pokemon. And Terrakion is the most notable of the 3, definitely. Anyway, what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be talking about some movesets for singles, VGC, so doubles, as well as speed tiers and the damage calcs. So if that's something you're interested in, go ahead and like and subscribe. It means so much to me. And comment down below, hey, nice vid. Anyway, let's get into it. So Terrakion, rock fighting, it's pretty solid typing. Honestly, it's really not that solid of a typing. We have a lot of resistances, but we also have more actually weaknesses. We have 7 big weaknesses: water, grass, fighting, ground, psychic, steel, fairy. All are prevalent in the meta. All suck to have as a weakness, but we're pretty bulky, so that's pretty good. And then also we have Dynamax factor as well. So, you know, we're going to be taking a lot of damage, but we're also very fast, and we're hitting a lot of damage, so Terrakion likes that. Anyway, as far as our stats go, we're looking pretty solid. HP 91, defense 90, special defense 90, all very, a little above average. That's a really solid bulk, like, stats that you want to be at. As far as our offense goes, we have 129 attack, which is great, 72 special attack, it doesn't matter, and then speed 108, which is very solid as well, putting us on a really solid speed tier, where we're only outsped by like 5 Pokemon, realistically, other than like, you know, Scarf Pokemon and Chlorophyll and Weather Boys, stuff like that. So we're looking pretty solid in the stats department. Not the best at typing, but not terrible, because we do resist a lot of attacks as well, which is good. And then our ability is amazing. So if you don't know what Justified does, we'll talk about that here on the build. So if you don't know what ability Justified is, then what essentially what it does is whenever you're hit by any dark move, then you gain +1 attack, which is really good with the move Beat Up. Beat Up from something like Whimsicott or Dragapult or Mimikyu or anything. So many Pokemon get beat up. They hit Terrakion equal to the amount of Pokemon you have currently in your party, which is going to be 4. So we're going to go to +4 attack immediately, which is very good. Now this sounds absurd, right? Well, you also have to be careful of Follow Me, because if you use Beat Up, it'll target the Follow Me user, or Rage Powder now that we have Amoonguss. So there's a couple of big Pokemon that kind of stop this threat from happening, but if that happens, you just double target in, kill it, and then next turn do it. But Terrakion might, you know, take a lot of damage, and then you don't want to Dynamax it anymore. And that's essentially where the plan falls. But if everything goes swimmingly, then you have a +4 Terrakion, Dynamaxed, killing every single thing, literally OHKOing 90% of the meta. It's amazing. Anyway, let's go ahead and talk about the set. So the item we're using today is Lum Berry. You could also opt for something like Life Orb or any of the berries that suit up your weaknesses, you know, any of those ones that half damage from super effective attacks. You have 7 of those, so it could be a good option. Another good option is you could go with Weakness Policy. Since we have 7 big weaknesses, you could go with that instead of Justified, but I like Justified. I think that's his whole gimmick, really, is that he's going to go for Justified. But you could run Weakness Policy, theoretically, and then, you know, when your opponent leads something that they think is going to stop you with Follow Me, you just go max. You could even use Surf. Surf would still hit it and go inactivate your Weakness Policy, so that's another idea. But yeah, for now, we're pretty, like, I really like Lum Berry on this. It doesn't really need Life Orb to hit it into any certain damages, so Life Orb's nice, being able to dodge that Sleep and Burn, since we want to Dynamax this Pokemon and sweep the whole game up. Anyway, that's going to be it for the item. Let's go ahead and talk about some moves. So we have Rock Slide in close combat for its stab moves, and then we also have Earthquake and Protect. I really like 2, you know, your dual stab attacks, a coverage move, or just a, you know, any move you want to use, and then Protect. I like Protect. It's really good. It's max guard as well. But, you know, we have Urshifu now, so that's a little bit scary. But, yeah. Rapid Strike style Urshifu kind of, like, hits Terrakion really hard. It hits through max guard or Protect, so it's a problem. But, you know, it's just another weakness that Terrakion has. While he has so many upsides, you just have to see the upsides of this Pokemon, and you want them to happen all the time, and that's really important for Terrakion. Anyway, that's going to be it for the moves. Let's go ahead and talk about some flex moves that you can switch out for, you know, Earthquake or even the dual stab or Protect. I wouldn't. Probably only the one move, the Earthquake spot. for some coverage if you need it. I like Earthquake because it turns into Max Quake. You could also go with Iron Head because it turns into Max Steel Spike. And then you make Terrakion more bulky as well as its partner Pokemon, which is very good. And then we also have things like Takedown, which also turns to Max Strike, which is very good for speed control. We also have Poison Jab, X-Scissor, Zen Headbutt, all as good coverage moves. And then it also gets the new move Coaching, which is really cool. Coaching is a very interesting move that it's essentially helping hand, but it's permanent and it's attack and speed. So it's essentially like a baby, or it's a Dragon Dance. I think it's attack and speed, right? Coaching. I should have double checked this before we did this. Coaching. Attack and defense, not attack and speed. So it's attack and defense +1/+1. So that's good for certain things, but we're not going to be using it in this set. You know, like I said, we're just justified attack, very heavy. But, you know, be careful of Togekiss and Amogus, two of the most used Pokemon. Actually, I believe right now they are the two most used Pokemon. So be careful. Anyway, as far as Terrakion goes, our spread for EVs, we want 252 into HP and 252 into speed. Now, a lot of builds are going to say, hey, go into attack. But I ran a lot of damage calcs today, and I believe that if your Justified activates without a hitch, HP is optimal. If you're scared it's not going to happen, go into attack, because then you can just hit things with Rock Slide while your opponent's trying to follow me, or Rage Powder turn 1. It's probably optimal to go for attack, but if you're a no fear guy, then go for the HP. But I will preface this that this is probably optimal to go for 252 into attack, just because of the fact that everybody's going to try to stop this play. So it's best to just be into attack and then not have to use Justified until you can use it, which is cool. Anyway, that's going to be it for our EV spread. We want Jolly Nature just to give us max speed as well. We had a very solid speed tier at 108, so we're looking pretty good. Anyway, that's going to be it for the move pool, the move set, the whole build in general for VGC. Let's go ahead and talk about some synergetic Pokemon. So the first one that everybody should just assume is a beat up user. Something like Dragapult, Whimsicott, and I think those are actually the best two targets because of the fact that they outspeed Terrakion when he's max speed. So it's good to just be faster. You know, you want to be faster than Terrakion. You don't want to attack with Terrakion and then use a move that boosts his attack. That's like just wasting a turn, right? So you want to use something like Whimsicott or Dragapult. Whimsicott is a really great choice as well, mostly due to it also having things like Taunt, it has Tailwind, it has Encore, it has Fake Tier for other Pokemon to really get a lot of value out of Whimsicott. Essentially, it just allows Whimsicott to be an amazing lead with other multiple Pokemon as well, also having Beat Up. And then we talked about Dragapult briefly, but essentially Dragapult also has Screens, which is very good. It could also use Substitute. I'm probably not going to do that. Probably Beat Up, Dual Screens. It also has Thunder Wave, and it's very, very fast. So all of those are really, really good for Dragapult as well. And then a couple of other Pokemon that we have that could be suitable teammates on this team. Braviary. Braviary covers up its weaknesses really well. It actually is also immune to ground, which was the first reason I wanted to pick it. It's also as Defiant, which means it deters Intimidate. It's all around just an amazing partner with Terrakion, to be honest. And then we also have Gastrodon. Gastrodon being able to soak up water attacks with Storm Drain, while also being able to hit really hard against a lot of things that Terrakion really hates. So they just make good partners. Anyway, that's going to be it for this slide. Let's go ahead and move on to some speed tiers. So as far as speed tiers go, we are very fast. We hit 176 with max speed, outspeeding good Pokemon, things like Charizard, Mimikyu, Excadrill, Form Change Rotom, Duraludon. The list goes on. So many great mid-speed to fast Pokemon that we're outspeeding with Terrakion, which is amazing. You get to just hit it with Beat Up and then kill everything. You max Rockfall Charizard, is dead. You Rock Slide Charizard, is dead. You hit Mimikyu with any attack, and it breaks its disguise, and then it's dead. And then you hit things like Excadrill with Close Combat or Max Knuckle. Even Max Knuckle at 95 base power is able to kill a Dynamax Excadrill. It's great. And then we do get outsped by a couple of Pokemon. Like I said, there's 5 Pokemon that outspeed us. Durant, Whimsicott, Cinderace, Inteleon, Dragapult. Inteleon has been very, very trending down. Cinderace is everywhere. I don't know, like, it's everywhere. So is Dragapult, so is Whimsicott, so is Durant. Actually, Durant's not everywhere. And neither is Whimsicott, really. So really, Cinderace and Dragapult are the big deals here that you have to worry about. And then we have the, you know, all the weather Pokemon. We have Chlorophyll Venusaur. We have Chlorophyll Lilligant now. We'll see if that does much. We have Swift Swim Kingdra. We have Rain coming in troves. There's a lot of Pokemon that are going to be outspeeding Terrakion. But if you lead Terrakion Whimsicott, you can get that Tailwind off too. You could go Tailwind Protect or Tailwind Max Guard, and then next turn go for Beat Up Strat. That's another really good option. But if they call that out, they're going to double target Whimsicott, and then you lose the game because you're not able to do your thing. So that would suck. Anyway, that's going to be it for speed tiers. I talked about it so much. Let's go ahead and talk about some damage calcs. So all of our offensive damage calcs are going to be +4, except for the one that we get intimidated. We are hitting Dynamax justified on all of our offensive calcs, which is very good. And you'll like these calcs if you want to play Terrakion. So first off, we have Max Rockfall, +4, Max Invested, Max Rockfall into a very defensive Dynamax Togekiss. Now, usually on these kind of defensive spreads for Togekiss, you're not going to see them Dynamaxing. That's just the way the world works. They're usually not going to Dynamax. However, if they do, you still get a guaranteed OHKO, which is huge. Next, we also have Max Quake into an Excadrill, a Dynamaxed Excadrill. We hit 177 to 209, having a chance to Dynamax, or to OHKO a Dynamaxed Excadrill. Unbelievable damage output from Dynamaxed justified, +4 Terrakion. Makes sense. I mean, just about everything, if it's +4, it's going to be dealing out huge damage, but it's good. Anyway, next we have Dynamax justified +3 instead of +4 because of Intimidate against an Incineroar, hitting 219 with a Max Knuckle. Even if it Dynamaxes, we still beat it. It's so easy. You just Dynamax, justify, kill everything. Kill everything. Anyway, next we have Dynamax justified Max Rockfall into a Dusclops with Eviolite, hitting 120 to 141%. Now this is a really cool calc because it's not even hitting super effective against it. And we're still just OHKOing this super bulky, one of the most bulky Pokemon in the entire game, or in the entire format rather. Hitting it, OHKO it, turn 1, get it out of here. Dealt with that, get it out of here. Next we have Dynamax justified +4 Terrakion Max Quake into a Moongus with 236 HP and 84 defense. This is the most used spread on Pikalytics for VGC 2020 so far, and we still offer a guaranteed OHKO, hitting 119 to 141%. Now, of course, this probably will get Rage Powdered and we won't be +4, so we're hitting about 25% of that usually, but that's still 30-something% usually, so looking not that bad. You know, if they waste turn 1 on Rage Powdering and they don't do a setup move with their other Pokemon, you're still looking in a pretty solid position. You know, if they Swords Dance their Excadrill, then maybe yikes. But then the next turn you use Tailwind, or that turn you use Tailwind, and then you get to hit everything with a really powerful attack. So honestly, like, we're probably looking okay in a lot of these matchups, but that is a very, very big open weakness that it has. Anyway, for our one defensive calc, this is actually pretty cool. So Libero Cinderace is one of the most used Pokemon that is going to be outspeeding us, and it has access to Max Steel Spike. It's going to turn to Stab because of Libero. Even with Life Orb and Libero, Max Steel Spike only hits 87 to 103%. It only hits a chance to OHKO. Yeah, I know, but it's only a 25% chance to OHKO. So it's not that bad. Like, we're probably going to live. You know, we're probably going to live, and it's probably fine, but yeah, I just thought that was cool. A couple of other things are just gonna like take you out, like Durant. Like, Durant's really scary for this Pokemon, but you know, Durant's been like trending down ever since like you could use it in VGC 2020. So it's like, it's whatever. It's probably not gonna be that bad of a weakness. And honestly, Dragapult isn't that scary for this Pokemon either. Like, it doesn't have much like super effective spread, so we're probably fine. Anyway, that's going to be it for our damage calcs portion. Let's go ahead and talk about Single Spotlight real quick. So, as far as Single Spotlight goes, we are playing the Swords Dance version. It's still justified. It's still Life Orb. Not really still, because we didn't use that before. Anyway, so it's Life Orb justified. Justified is its only ability, so that's what we're going with. So we have Life Orb to give us that 1.3 times damage, which is good. We have Swords Dance as well, so whenever we're in a good position, we can just Swords Dance up, go +2, and then kill everything with Close Combat, Stone Edge, and Earthquake. You could also switch to Rock Slide for a little bit better accuracy, but it's only a little bit better accuracy than Stone Edge, so it's probably fine at Stone Edge. Yeah, I like it. I think it's good. You could also switch up that move Earthquake for whatever you want. I just like Earthquake. I think it's one of its best coverage moves, so it's good. And then as far as our offense, our EV spread goes, we have 252 into attack and 252 into speed. This is probably optimal. Like I said, for our singles or for our double build, we should probably go 252 into attack as well, just to prep for the worst case. But honestly, I am a big fan of playing for the best case scenario sometimes, so it really depends. But yeah, attack is probably optimal. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe. It means so much. Comment, hey, nice vid. All of it helps. Yeah, Terrakion is really cool. I think it's like, if you get the Justified combo, you're probably winning that game. Like, it's very, very low chance you're going to lose that game. But we do have so much redirection within the meta. I mean, we even have Indeedee trending up insanely, running that Follow Me. So we have, like, you know, Amoonguss, Togekiss, and Indeedee female on almost every team, honestly. So if you see those Pokemon, just know that they're probably going to lead it against your Terrakion, and you're probably going to see them, you know, 8 out of 10 games, I would imagine. So Terrakion does have its flaws, but when it happens, you win the game, and when it doesn't happen, you're still running an insanely bulky, very strong, very fast, great Pokemon with great coverage and strong stab moves. So even when it's not good, it's still not bad, which is very good. Anyway, that's going to be it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great next 2 months, and goodbye.